If you're interested in one of the best canyon hikes in Arizona, one that can be done year-round and is near a major metropolitan area, then this video is for you. I'll show you how to hike Aravaipa Canyon. The Aravaipa Canyon Wilderness is located about 90 minutes north of the city of Tucson, Arizona. It can be reached in a passenger car. A high-clearance four-wheel drive vehicle is a little bit safer. Aravaipa Canyon is about 11 miles from trailhead to trailhead. There's a western trailhead that is easily reached and an eastern trailhead that is a much more difficult high-clearance four-wheel drive voyage. Why hike Aravaipa Canyon? It's been said that if Aravaipa was part of the Grand Canyon, it would be the most beautiful section of the Grand Canyon. It has a tremendous perennial creek and beautiful high canyon walls. The riparian area attracts a variety of wildlife, like this COATIMUNDI, that is seldom seen in other areas of Arizona. It's also a great place to see interesting geology, like this hellhole conglomerate.
All the rocks embedded in that. And over there, something similar, the whole wall of the canyon. Cactus growing out of the sides.
Aravaipa has great camping. There are no organized camping or specific campsite permits. It's at-large camping, but you're strongly encouraged to camp in one of the areas that's been well used. Aravaipa Canyon is one of the great summer hikes at low altitude because of the cooling effect of the water. You spend about half your time walking in the water, which on a 100-degree day is quite a relief. In addition to the 11 miles of canyon, there are a number of beautiful side canyons to explore. Some of the side canyons are easily reached, like Hell's Hole Canyon. Others are a little bit more difficult and can require some scrambling. Hiking in Aravaipa Canyon, even a day hike, requires a permit. The good news is this can be easily obtained online via their permitting process. The bad news is, during the prime hiking seasons, permits go very quickly, so be sure to reserve well in advance. When your permit is approved, make sure you print it out and bring it with you to stick in the windshield of your car so you don't get a parking ticket. One of the things about hiking in Aravaipa Canyon that you simply have to resign yourself to is you will be walking in water. You will get wet. There's simply no way around it. Typically you'll get wet up to about your knees. I prefer to use trail runners with gaiters to keep the sand and gravel out of my shoes. I feel that trekking poles are an essential piece of gear when hiking Aravaipa Canyon. The rocks and boulders in the canyon, in the creek, can be quite slippery, and the trekking poles will help you navigate through some of the deeper and trickier spots. Wherever you have water, you have wildlife, including critters. I saw this millipede on my first hike in Aravaipa Canyon. Also, I've seen numerous scorpions in the canyon, so make sure you use some sort of enclosed shelter. I don't recommend you do cowboy camping in Aravaipa. I think the best option is a hammock. This is a picture of my Hennessey hammock that keeps me off the ground, away from the critters, and high and dry. Hiking through some areas can be very brushy, including thistles that will scratch you. I recommend wearing long pants, even in the summertime, to avoid getting your shins ripped up. Hiking in Aravaipa Canyon in the wintertime is beautiful, and it also is easier to get a permit then, but it has its own special set of challenges to keep your feet warm. I wear a liner sock, a neoprene sock to keep my feet warm, trail runners, and then gaiters to keep the sand and gravel out. The neoprene socks keep your feet warm, but they won't stay dry. They're like a wetsuit boot. You can find them in the kayak section of your sporting goods store. Driving to Aravaipa Canyon is fairly straightforward. From Oro Valley, go north on State Highway 77 and take the turn onto the Aravaipa Creek Road. After a short period of time, this will turn into a gravel road, and you simply drive all the way to the end of the road, where you'll see the sign for the trailhead parking. The trailhead has plenty of parking for vehicles. The entrance to the canyon is just to the left of the trailhead sign. Make sure you sign in at the trailhead when you arrive. Follow the signs that will take you down the trail to the creek itself. A few minutes after encountering the creek, you'll cross over into the wilderness area. About a mile and a half or a 45-minute walk from the trailhead, you'll actually enter the canyon walls. On the way back, you simply retrace your steps, but finding the trail that goes up to the trailhead for some reason can be a little tricky for some people. Keep your eyes peeled for the sign that will direct you up to the trailhead. Now let's talk about some of the things to be careful of or watch out for when hiking in Aravaipa Creek. First of all, be careful of the deep spots in the creek. Keep your eyes peeled for dark areas of the water and areas where the water is rushing very rapidly. You can easily go up to your waist if you're not careful. The biggest danger in Aravaipa is the risk of flash floods. It's not exactly a slot canyon, but it gets pretty narrow in some areas, and the waters can rise incredibly rapidly during the monsoon season, even if the rainfall is nowhere in sight, because Aravaipa Creek drains a very large area. Check the weather report before you go to make sure there's no thunderstorms predicted for the area, and also check online the flow level in the creek so you can see that it's not excessive. Another issue is lightning. The monsoon thunderstorms in Arizona can be extremely violent, and as pictured here, the lightning can be quite severe. I hope this video has convinced you to hike Aravaipa Canyon. I think it's one of the best backpacking trips in all of Arizona.